I would like to thank Attila the Q for sending me this story. Now, everyone knows who this is in this picture. This is Kobe Bryant on the night he won his Academy Award for his Best Animated Short Film called Dear Basketball. And I never saw the film, but I would actually like to watch it. It must have been pretty good for them to actually consider him an actual, first off, an Oscar contender as a nomination, and then for him to actually win. But you know what? I think one of the major reasons he won is because he was probably one of the most recognizable names in that category. Not saying that they picked him based on favoritism, but let's just be real here. He played for the Lakers. The show is out in LA. But the film could actually be good. I don't know because I haven't seen it. But I remember back when he first won, there was a lot of whispers, I guess you can call that, from a lot of these groups. And this was back when Me Too was still at its peak. Because, Me Too had just got more on the surface in October and the Oscars was in February. And a lot of people even then, well, part of that Me Too crowd, were upset that Kobe Bryant was not only nominated, but also won in a particular category because of stemming from what happened back in 2003 with that alleged rape case, which he was found not guilty of because he said he had consensual sex with her. And then it all came out that some things happened with her and they really didn't, and they couldn't go to trial. So basically she messed up the case for herself. So there was no trial. So it wasn't a verdict, whether it was not guilty or guilty. Pretty much all the charges got dropped because she pretty much screwed up the case. Now, let's fast forward to recently. Kobe Bryant's film, Dear Basketball, was actually accepted into a film festival. And, that's a huge deal, especially since the film won an Academy Award. But not in this instance, because as quickly as they were able to want to invite him and his film to the festival, they decided to rescind it, meaning they decided to drop his film from being a part of the festival because of what happened back in 2003. This reminds me of what happened with Nate Parker. Remember, Nate Parker got all these accolades for Birth of a Nation. And that, his film, I have a feeling if none of the stuff that happened with Nate Parker, he would have swept awards season back in 2017. He would have. I'm almost certain. He would have got all the Golden Globes and all the Oscars and all the other awards that happens around that time. But because someone in the media had to bring up something from his past that happened back in 1999, in which he went to trial and was acquitted of, they had to shun his film and literally bury it. Only a few people such as myself actually went out and supported it. And now this thing is popping back up for Kobe Bryant for something that happened in 2003 when all he had was consensual sex with the woman, which he should not have messed around with that woman considering he was married. And, is still married. His marriage almost ended because of that. But it's the fact that they can bring up stuff like this from the past and way into the past of a black man in particular, in which he is not guilty of anything that happened, or he's guilty in a court of public opinion, and then they will do everything they can to bring him down. And you don't want to know how they were able to rescind him not coming to this festival? Because they created an online petition and apparently they got enough signatures to say don't invite him. You mean to tell me that finally an online petition actually works? Because a lot of the times them things do not work, but it happened to work this time. I wonder how many signatures they needed in order to get it, because when I was reading the article, it didn't specify how many signatures were needed in order for it to actually be successful in not inviting him or his film. And mind you, he probably was going to be the most recognizable person there. He was probably going to also be the only Oscar winner there as well for the film that was being shown. But that didn't matter because this was a successful black man with an Oscar winning film, but he has this stain on him that will unfortunately be attached to him for the rest of his life, no matter what he does. And that was enough for them to not want to bring him there. But you know what? I say to Kobe Bryant, that's their loss. That is their loss. I'm sure there are probably other festivals that will want to have your film if they want to, and if they don't, at the end of the day, you still got the bigger prize. This actually exposed your film because now more people want to go see it. Because like I said, I didn't really know that he had a film until I found out he was nominated for an Oscar. Honestly speaking, so I think one day eventually I will actually sit down and watch it. But like I said, Kobe's probably he shouldn't even sweat the small stuff and everything like that. And I can't even believe I'm really coming to the defense of Kobe Bryant because I'm really not a fan of the guy. More so, you know, but this is me being on code right now because I know what they're trying to do. But this, like I said, is going to be attached to him for the rest of his life, especially now that he's not playing in the NBA anymore. So it's not like he has all of that cover like he used to. And see, he falls almost into the same category as Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is arguably, probably, if not the biggest entertainer that had ever lived. And in death, he still is one of the biggest entertainers. And when he was going through all the stuff he was going through with that child molestation thing, not once but twice, it was his fan base that kept him afloat. If his fan base completely disowned him or discarded him, Michael Jackson would have been done with a long time ago. And I think that's what happened with Kobe Bryant. His fan base stayed intact. And they hate when they have to go after people with a strong fan base because they know it may not work out in their favor. And see, that's the thing that worked against Nate Parker because he didn't have a strong fan base on his side, at least not on a crossover sense. Because of, you know, with what happened, his fan base mostly didn't go beyond the black community. I have a feeling that if Birth of a Nation did not get sabotaged, Nate Parker would have still been making movies right about now, still acting and still making movies. Not saying that he's completely done with it, but now he literally has to tiptoe around a lot of things because of what happened. My suggestion was he should just go out and create his own studio, or maybe hook up with Tyler Perry and see if he can help him out with some things. I know a lot of people don't like Tyler Perry, but you gotta give credit where credit is due. Tyler Perry has helped put a lot of people on. And Tyler Perry better watch his back because see, they might try to do the thing to him that they did to Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby put a lot of black people on too. But one thing I can say about stuff like this, it reveals who your true friends are, and it even reveals who your real enemies are as well. Because a lot of people that you think are your friend are really not. They just are wolves in sheep's clothing. But that's all I really have to say about this. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.